Minecraft. I am Voidless Gaming, and these are my thoughts on the 1.17 snapshot. So, prepared some things here, so let's go for this first. Shoot. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Okay, so the first big change is that you can now put lava into cauldrons, and this isn't just a decoration, this is pretty helpful, I guess, because first of all, it's harder, it doesn't flow, so that's pretty nice. You can just put this casually in your base, and you can use it as like a little trash kind of thing, which is pretty helpful. Let me just demonstrate, Oh shoot, I missed. Well, yeah, it is, yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty nice because it doesn't flow around. It is harder to fall into it, but it's not impossible, of course. But there is actually a way, if I put a polished, black stone, yes, I can still, it looks pretty nice, and I can still go into it, although that just does not protect it, I believe. Yeah, it doesn't protect you from actually falling in, but, it's something, it looks cool. Okay, now if we turn around, these are all, oh god, my voice sort of, I don't even know what happened. These are the candles, and there are a lot of different colors, and it's sort of like the sea pickle, you can stack it up, and the more you stack up, the more light it provides. Yeah, so these I just made to quickly demonstrate. So use 1, 2. Well, it basically looks identical to the sea pickles, just like a little bit thinner, I would say. Here is what they would look like in your inventory and stuff. Yeah, and to light them, you need a flint and steel, and you just click it, and yeah, you have light. You lit it. That's literally it. And then let me know. Hopefully, I don't set this up, but just light a bunch of them. And as you can see, this one produces less light than that one. So if let's say I took one of these, so we go right here and light this. This barely produces any light whatsoever, but if I add 4 to it, it produces a lot more light. So it's essentially sort of like the sea pickles, except these provide light even if it's out of water, which is nice. Okay. Next, actually, I'll quickly skip all of this, just ignore this. These are the crafting recipes. This is how you craft a normal candle, and then to color, you just put the dye next to the candle, you get that colored candle. So, just skipping ahead to that, because it's in the same thing. Okay. Next are some of the items that I couldn't really place down. So, first of all, we have bundles. So, bundles, these are really helpful because essentially they just organize your inventory. Most people are gonna think like, oh no, these are gonna replace shulker boxes and stuff, but it can really only hold a stack of items, and you might ask like, why is it so good then? Well, let's say I have like tons of like random junk in my inventory, or no idea what to actually do, but let's say I have a bunch of junk in my inventory, and I just want to clear it up, like tons of flowers, tons of things like that I never need. I just go like this, I just do all of them into that bundle, and it can hold a maximum only of a stack, so it's not that good for like a normal storage, but it can really help organize your inventory. I started like playing a little survival series here, well, not here, but in another world, and actually really helped out. Now, I actually forgot to include the crafting recipe, but I believe it is just something simple like that, and okay, and if we just go like that, and then add one of these, that should be the crafting recipe. Of course, if it isn't, you can look it up, I guess, but that should be the crafting recipe. Okay. Next, we have the telescope, or the spyglass. I just call it the telescope. This is effectively Optifine zoom, except in vanilla. So, actually zooms in a lot. But, this is what it is. And you can see, in the daytime, you can barely see it. But here, you can see how there's like a little smudge thing. That's just like a special kind of detail to make it look more realistic. Which I think is fine, honestly. It sort of looks like a cyclops smiling. My question though, which I haven't actually looked into, is like, for example, if I looked at an Enderman with this, would that count? Like, because I know that they don't aggravate from a certain distance, but would this enlarge? I have no idea. My assumption is that nothing would happen. Like, as if you just get to look at it from closer. I was like, what particle effects are this? No. Okay. But anyway, this is just Optifine Zoom in vanilla Minecraft. Actually, I like this because I play a lot of modded Minecraft and a lot of vanilla Minecraft, so it's nice that we finally have something like this. Although, hold up, wrong button. It's a little on the weird side. Little on the weird side. Oh dear. Oh my god. If I go like... So I feel like they should probably fix that, but it's... looks pretty weird. I don't know, I felt that. Well, yeah, so that's the spyglass. So honestly, not that interesting, but I do like it. Okay. Now, amethyst shard, you can use these to craft the spyglass, and as of right now, I have no idea how to craft the spyglass. So I haven't put it into this, like, thoughts video. But this, I believe, is used to craft the spyglass because it's, like, crystal and stuff, so don't know why you couldn't use glass, but not important. Okay, this is copper ingot, and we're gonna go over copper in a second. This is just what it looks like in an item frame or in your inventory. I just wanted to do this because, honestly, I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know why, but let me compare this to gold, and somehow it looks different. The shading somehow looks different. I don't know why, or, like, how. Let me just get an item frame. I don't know how. Oh god, that's not a birch plank. But somehow it looks different. I don't know. I really like this texture. I don't know why, because it's essentially the same thing. But I guess that's not that important. Okay, next we have all of the copper blocks. Now, this is the copper ore. As you can see, there's a little green here, which is symbolizing that it goes more into green and stuff. But there's basically nothing to do with this. Like, essentially, there's nothing really that interesting with this specifically. You just smelt it and boom, I think. Or, yeah, I think it's like, it's the equivalent of iron, essentially. Except, I believe this might be, like, more rare than iron, which is important because that makes these a lot more expensive. So, this is a copper block. It has a really good steampunk vibe, I think. And you can make a lot of really cool, like, factory builds with this and stuff, and especially including different variants of this. But, unfortunately, the problem is that over time it would always default to that, because over time it turns into weathered copper block, and then semi-lightly, you know. These are some of the longest names we've had. Semi-weathered copper block. It gets worse, trust me. So let's just get rid of that. But, yeah, unfortunately it does go defaults to that after a while, but we'll get to a fix for that sooner or later. Well, later a little bit. These are cut copper, so I think this also essentially is just a little bit different version than that. I think this also looks really cool, but this could be used for like a I'm not going to do it now, but like a bathroom, or maybe I can't really, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything, but this is a cool building block. Like, I like this, like this is honestly sort of my favorite color, so I have to say, I like this. I like where this is going, and also, this is like the first, like, ore block, so like iron block, gold block, diamond block, that changes color. And we've never fully had something like this, although crops technically include that, but, you know, we've never fully had a what am I saying? Block like that. And here are stairs and slabs, and that is going to be important in a second. But here are just stairs, slabs. But here's when the names get really long. So, semi-weathered cut copper... wait, what the heck? Semi-weathered cut copper slab. That is pretty long. And then, semi-weathered cut copper stairs. Lightly weathered cut copper stairs. As you can see, it gets pretty... It's the semi-weathered cut copper stairs. That's like a full tongue twister. I dare anybody here to say that. And then obviously cut copper slab, but then it goes into a lightly weathered cut copper slab. It's pretty funny, actually. Here are the interesting things. So, as you can see, there's no final product. That's because these are waxed semi-weathered waxed semi-weathered cut copper, waxed semi-weathered cut copper stairs. It's so long. Waxed semi-weathered cut copper slab. Waxed lightly weathered cut copper slab. Oh my god, it takes so long to say. Literally a tongue twister. But this wax means that it won't turn into this. And the reason that they don't have this is because this in and of itself just won't turn into anything. So you just put that down, it won't have, nothing will happen. Oh, I thought that was going for me. Oh, what the heck? Oh my god, it's confirmed. They're attracted to lightning rods. Lightning rods. And we'll get to that. Actually, this is the next thing. These literally, they're pretty well. Okay, here's the thing. They attract lightning and thunderstorms. But I personally have never in my entire Minecraft career, I've played for a long time, never had an issue where my base got set on fire by lightning, because the rain just puts it out. Any problem that any fire that the thunder would, or not the thunder, but the lightning would cause would get put out by the rain. So there's no real reason for this to actually like protect your base. But it is a cool thing because this can be used for like a chandeliers, you know, stuff like that can also be used for tables, like table legs and stuff. It has some building possibilities, but for actually protecting your base from lightning, I don't think your base needs that much protecting from lightning. I mean, it's fine. It also adds a cool effect, let's say, but to be honest, it's not like the most useful for its intended purpose. Although, there is one more idea I just had when I was making this. You could probably make a witch farm by making a villager farm that constantly produces villagers, like a lot, and then you would take them to a lightning bolt, lightning rod, not bolt, and then when a villager gets struck by lightning, it turns into a witch. So maybe every time it's like raining and thundering, you get a bunch of witches because they'll all just get struck by lightning because they go next to this. I feel like that's a cool idea for a farm, but that would be pretty inefficient. But let's say you just wanted a really small income of redstone and stuff like that, maybe redstone, occasionally some potions, stuff like that. It could be fine, but honestly, not the most interesting, to be honest. Not the most interesting. I mean, it's good for building, but okay. Also, we're going into carpet section. Now I'm going to talk much quieter. I'm just going to walk a little bit, and I want you to listen. Now, you might have heard tingling and like bingling and stuff like that. That is because if you walk on a block of amethyst or budding amethyst, but we'll get that to a second, it like causes a really nice like chime thing. This could be so cool. I mean, imagine your base is like lined with carpets, and you just walk on. That would be so cool. If I ever like make a big base in this game version, I'm totally going to add this. 110% sure. This is a really cool thing. Also, a nice thing is when you break or place amethyst, or if you actually just interact with it. So, oh wait, never mind. I'm thinking of something else. Then it gives off little chime, basically the same thing as this, just louder. Now this is the kind of thing that you find in the amethyst geode, and I'll showcase that in just a second. These are budding amethyst. Now this is the equivalent of a mob spawner because there's no way of obtaining this in survival. It's because if you try and break it, it drops nothing. You don't actually get it. Whereas if you break this, you get a block of amethyst. But budding amethyst, if you break the block, you don't get anything. And that's why it's the equivalent of monster spawner or mob spawner, because it grows amethyst clusters. And these, obviously, you break them, well, not in creative, but if you break them, they give you amethyst shards, which we saw all the way down there. And these I don't think will give you anything, but if you wait till they're fully grown, then yeah, it just gives you amethyst shards, which is pretty nice. And also, just to demonstrate, I have to leave even louder than before, because this produces that produces some sound. Oh yeah, amethyst shard. Yeah, it gives like 4. So okay. But these, because this produces a sound if I place in, that produces sound, so it's like really loud. But honestly, I love that sound. so it's fun. These are calcite, which was originally going to be, as far as I knew, marble, but then they changed it. I still really like it. And tough. Now, honestly, so far, there's literally nothing to do with these. Like, it's only these two blocks. But, I'll showcase these in the wild, like, nanosecond. But, as of right now, there's nothing really happening with these blocks except for just having the blocks themselves. I mean, this is a cool block. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a cool block, but so far there's no actual thing aside from it. Yes, okay. Here is a real-life amethyst geode, and this is the place where, this is basically where they spawn naturally. I'll connect it right here. And basically, if they're not connected to a cave, they would just spawn like this, completely secluded, and there's no way for you to really find it unless, I guess, you were a spectator or you got lucky. But as you can see right here, that is an amethyst, or a budding amethyst, and these guys can only grow on this. So large amethyst. So this isn't even fully grown. This is large amethyst bud, and then when it's fully grown, it would be a cluster. This, I believe. Yes. You can see these are different. And basically, yeah, if I tried to break this, if this like block right here, it would drop nothing. It would just be empty space, and that's cool because it encourages traveling more for certain resources, which I always sort of liked, because it adds. I mean, personally, I'm one of those people who actually really likes grinding. Like, I feel like I'm one of the only people in my friend group who actually likes grinding resources. I know it's weird, but that's me. And as you can see, it goes like calcite, then tough, and then stone, granite, andesite, diorite. All of those, yeah. But yeah, it's literally. And if I were to dig around this, you could see that there would be tough basically everywhere. It's basically a layer of calcite, and then a layer of tough, and then all of the rest of the thing. Oh, skills. Is right here. Let's just get a bucket of milk, because this is actually important. And let's just get a zombie spawn egg. Now that'll make sense in a second. So, down here, this is tinted glass. Now this just looks like regular glass, you know. It shines light, you know. But you might be thinking like, oh no, why is there a torch down there? It's not like you need it. But if I remove that torch, place the tinted glass, it's complete darkness. This is because its tinted glass is a block that does not let light through, but it lets vision through. And this is really weird in my opinion, but also really cool. Because honestly, I mean, we could have a monster spawner that could be completely made out of glass, and like stuff like that. Like we could have tons of monster spawning kind of things made out of glass and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. But let's say I put a zombie down here. Now normally, if I replace this with normal glass, let's just get some normal glass right here, and got that guy. You see, he goes on fire, and we're like, oh no. But if we go like this, he stops. Yeah, he's not on fire anymore. You can sort of have to squint to see it, but he's not on fire anymore. And this means that we can see this mob, but it won't like let any light through. That means mobs can spawn here, and literally any mob can spawn here right now. I mean, there's too many caves. I think I'm like too close to it, so technically they won't, but it doesn't matter for now. The point is, mobs can spawn here, and we can see them, but there's no but there's actually no light coming through. I think this is really, really interesting. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Make sure to subscribe, smash the, headbutt the subscribe button.